All right, welcome. Today we're diving into a really powerful idea, one that helps explain how a country with so many different people and perspectives can actually thrive. It's right at the heart of how a diverse society works. So, let's get into it.
So just think about that for a second. In a place like the United States, you've got millions and millions of people, and they all have their own unique backgrounds, their own beliefs, their own traditions. So how do you possibly forge a single, cohesive nation out of all that variety? It seems like a total paradox, doesn't it?
Well, the key to cracking that puzzle is found in this simple but profound phrase. It's not about making everyone the same, and it's definitely not about giving up what holds us together. It's about figuring out how to do both at the very same time.
Okay, so what does differences within unity actually mean? Well, at its core, it's this idea that a society can be strong because of its diversity, not in spite of it. It's a way of thinking that allows for a strong national identity without demanding that everyone fit into the exact same mold.
You can really think of this as two sides of the same coin. On one side, you've got unity, the stuff we all share. Things like democratic values, a sense of national identity, the big goals we're all working towards. That's kind of like the trunk of a tree. But on the other side, you have differences, and that's all the unique backgrounds, languages, and traditions, the vibrant leaves and branches that make the tree what it is. You absolutely need both for a society to be healthy and strong.
And this quote just nails it, right? This is the whole point. The differences aren't a bug. They're a feature. They are the very thing that brings richness, new ideas, and resilience to a nation. A country that actually supports and celebrates these differences ends up being way more vibrant and, honestly, more stable in the long run.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But let's get practical. How does this whole concept actually play out in the real world? How does a society put this into practice every day?
Now, this is a really important distinction to make. This principle is all about integration, not assimilation. See, with integration, people can be full-fledged participants in society while still holding on to their unique culture. Assimilation, on the other hand, is about pressuring people to give up their heritage to just blend in. Differences within unity is a huge vote for integration.
And look, we have to be honest. This isn't always a walk in the park. There's this natural, constant push and pull between our shared values and our unique identities. A healthy society isn't one where there's no tension. It's one that figures out how to navigate that tension productively, always looking for that sweet spot between what we all have in common and what makes each of us different.
So let's bring this home. Why is this concept so absolutely critical for educators to understand? Well, because you are on the front lines, shaping the citizens who will need to live and work and thrive in a super diverse, democratic world.
As a teacher, your role here kind of boils down to three big things. First, you've got to actively promote multicultural education. Second, you need to consistently, and I mean consistently, frame diversity as a plus, as a real strength. And third, and this might be the most important, you have to create a classroom where these ideas are actually lived out every single day. So what does that look like? What's an inclusive classroom, really? Well, it means you're going out of your way to recognize what all sorts of different groups have contributed. It means you're building up positive attitudes about what makes us different. You, as the teacher, are showing your students what it looks like to respect a viewpoint that isn't yours. The goal here is simple, but it's so powerful. Every single student in your room should feel like who they are and where they come from truly matters.
And let's be really clear here. This is so much more than just a social studies lesson. When you teach differences within unity, you're giving your students the actual skills they need to be good citizens. You're teaching them how to listen, how to have empathy, how to work together with people who are nothing like them. And those are skills our democracy is absolutely depending on.
So we end up right back where we started, with this idea of a song. If our nation is this massive choir with all these different voices, then the idea of differences within unity, well, that's our sheet music. It's how we find the harmony. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's one thing you can do in your community, in your classroom, even in your own family, to help play your part in that beautiful, unified song?